night, the boogeyman attacks kids who don't believe.
Nightmares are chewing at my head again. They just seem to be getting worse.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm John and this is Matt. And today we're going to be continuing our deep dive into the Halloween series with the two Rob Zombie Halloween movies. But first, if you're into movie reviews, 4K Blu-ray reviews, tech reviews, and game reviews, we try to do them all here on the channel, and nothing helps out more than by you liking this video and subscribing to the channel. So back in 2007, everybody was into doing the remakes. This is after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre did their remake. So a couple years after that, I think it was like 4 years because the Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in 2003, Rob Zombie got tapped to do the remake of Halloween with John Carpenter's blessing on it. And at the time, I was actually really excited for it. And now, here we are, it's 15 years later. Not so excited about it, but Matt here really is.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I love... well, the Nightmare on Elm Street one was a little tough. Again, I still don't think it's the worst movie ever. However, I love Rob Zombie movies, and Halloween's probably my favorite horror franchise. I absolutely love what he did with the his first one. Part 2, I have different thoughts about. But the first, I eat that shit up. But that's almost a 5-star movie for me. I love the Rob Zombie twist on it. I know you don't like the stuff with the kid in the beginning.
No.
But I thought it was pretty cool because we only get a quick glimpse of it in the original 1978. And it was just really cool to see the evolution of evil in this kid, and I don't know, I thought it was fantastic. And Rob Zombie does those really dark and gritty and gruesome and vulgar worlds, and it just worked so well for me. I absolutely love Rob Zombie's Halloween, and it ranks very high on my Halloween franchise list.
For me, it ranks very low. It's actually, the original is actually pretty close to the bottom of my least favorite Rob Zombie. My least favorite Halloween movies.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. And really, it is just the beginning. All the stuff that Matt likes is exactly what I don't like. I love in the original Halloween how we only see the one tracking shot with the mask on, then he gets the mask pulled off, and then that's it as a kid. I didn't want to see a deep dive into Michael's childhood. It just didn't. I like that he's an unknown evil. Now, given it's fair that they are trying to explore a different side of this, like we already have the original Halloween, so it doesn't hurt to look at it from a different angle and see what makes evil. But I just personally, I don't enjoy it. I also don't really enjoy just any of those scenes with the kids. It's just all those actors are just, I don't know, I mean, I guess that's the point, is he's supposed to make us hate them, and I really hate these people. Like, his stepdad is a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand what Sherry Moon Zombie is doing with him. Like, he seems to be contributing nothing to the household, just being a terrible deadbeat father and stepfather. And then, then you get the young...
But that's all Rob Zombie right there.
I know.
That's his type of, like, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. Those are that backwoods, just country horror where these just obscene people, and it's just nowhere near a normal person. And that's the Rob Zombie twist that I really like. I enjoyed to see that.
I
thought it worked well, and that really took a toll on, like, it made Michael snap, Well, I mean, other things too, because it shows you him playing with his rats, and he killed the rat with the thing, and he just told his mom that it died, and then she was going to buy him another one after school. So, he's just a sick in the head, and then he's in this terrible environment that did not help his mental health, and that really showed what led to it. So it's definitely, he took liberties on the original 1978. That's nothing how, well, we don't really know that, but it looked like he had a proper mother and father. They were dressed up nicely when they arrived. And
it was just evil. Like, evil picked him almost. Like, that's why in the original he's labeled as the sheep. Whereas this, it's Mike Myers. We know it's Mike Myers.
Right.
We know he had a sister. Like, all this backstory is already built in. Where in the original, it's just an evil. Like, and Dr. Loomis is trying to tell everyone. In this one, Dr. Loomis is played by Malcolm McDowell of A Clockwork Orange fame, and I thought that was pretty cool to get him in there, and he's great too.
See, I like him in the first, but I don't like what they did with him in the second movie.
See, I like what they did with him in the second movie.
He was like a fucking rock star.
Well, in his defense I think that's also trying to show us that like that's kind of more what would realistically happen is like he's building a life on other people's trauma. That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
he's
like Gail Weathers and Scream.
Exactly. He's getting personal gain out of other people's deaths. I mean, given Mike Myers did go after him.
He did, yes.
So,
but still, he's hitting on girls at the book signing and he's being rude to his helper because he's talking to a girl, So I just didn't really like that Sam Loomis. I prefer the Donald Pleasance Sam Loomis. Although I liked him in the first. I thought he did great in the first movie. I was happy with that.
The first movie, it's an original movie up until they get back to Haddonfield, and then it's just a retake of the original Halloween.
For the most part, yeah. There's a lot of different scenes, like when Laurie's running across the street back to Tommy Doyle's house. She's just banging on the door. Tommy, let me in. That they brought that in there. He just reimagined through Rob Zombie's eyes with a little bit of Rob Zombie twist.
Yeah,
was how the movie went.
And for the rest of the movie, I thought it was all right. And I like having Brad Dourif there as the sheriff of Sheriff Brackett. I love him. He's I think he's just one of the greatest actors. Very underrated actor. In Mississippi Burning and obviously Child's Play, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And he's great in this. I thought he was way better than the original Sheriff Brackett, actually.
What did you think of Tyler Mane's Michael Myers?
Okay, so now this I actually do like, because they do position
He's a big dude.
Yeah, and they position the camera to make him look bigger than he already is.
No, he was a hulking monster. And I like how he's just unkept, his hair, his beard, those scenes where... Was that the second one? No, that was the first one, when you see his feet and the sandals just covered in mud, the long toenail. He just all he does all day is sits in his room and makes those paper mache masks, and he's just this monster of a person. And I loved it.
And I know you said and I agree. This is one of the scarier Halloween movies.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, because they definitely nail that, especially in the end scenes when he's coming through walls. You really can't escape him.
Oh no, yeah, it's terrifying.
I did enjoy that, and it's just the film itself overall, it just doesn't work for me. I think it has a better third act than the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie, I'm just not into it. I get what they're going for. It's just ugly and it feels disgusting, and that's Rob Zombie's thing. And I'm not the biggest Rob Zombie guy. I know you really are.
Yeah, I love all the Rob Zombie movies. I love that gritty, gory, gross, backwoods spin he puts on everything, because he's heavily inspired by the Texas Chainsaw movies, The Hills Have Eyes, all that early Wes Craven stuff. And then I love what he did with this Halloween movie. Halloween with Rob Zombie's twist. I loved it.
Yeah, and then
I still love the original, but without the original, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But again, it's another way to watch Halloween, in my opinion. I love it.
Yeah, I watched it for this review, and I'm going to put that away for a few years because I do not want to watch it anytime soon again, personally. And now this movie was made on a $15 million budget, but it made $80 million at the box office. So 2 years later, they greenlit a sequel, and I actually prefer Halloween 2 over the original.
Yeah, the sequel's not bad. I don't like what they did with a lot of the characters from 1 to 2, like Danielle Harris's character, Annie, right?
Yeah, she plays Anne Brackett.
She's a completely different person in the second one. I understand, because she was attacked in the first one and survived. And Danielle Harris has also been in... Where'd she start? In 4?
Halloween 4. She's 4. Jamie Lloyd.
Yeah, she started in 4. She was in 5.
Yeah, she plays a mutant 5.
And then Rob Zombie's 1 and 2. I didn't like what they did with her character. She was just this hermit that sits at the house, it seemed like. She never left the house. Meanwhile, Laurie, I think... no. I guess she had kind of had it worse, right?
Laurie, in the second one, it's also when she found out that her brother is Michael Myers, and that, that Sheriff Brackett actually knew that she was. She took the baby and brought it to, I guess, a firehouse. I don't know how that was one big plot hole for me. I was I don't understand how nobody realized that the sheriff took the baby. He said he just fudged up the paperwork.
He was the first one on scene or whatever.
Yeah. But no neighbors knew that there was another baby, and then all of a sudden this kid, now they have a baby. Whoever adopted the Strodes adopted Laurie. Nobody ever noticed that this baby disappeared from the Myers house, because the baby was 2 years old, maybe a year old. I mean,
maybe. Yeah.
Nobody knows. Like, she's taken the baby. How did Malcolm McDowell not know? Is my question, because she was going there. I assume she had the baby with her.
Well,
right?
he might, like you said, he smudged up the paperwork. Maybe he said that the baby was killed also.
That's possible.
So,
okay,
it leaves it up to your interpretation.
Yeah.
But it's just one way to write it in that's who she is.
All right, well, I guess that's fair. And then in the second one, also, you had Brad Dourif. I think he did a better job in the second one. I enjoyed the scene at the table where he's with Annie and Laurie, and then in the car with Malcolm McDowell when they're driving. I thought, okay, I like that.
Yeah, I thought he did great. You know, he's not the shining star in the movie.
No, he's a good player. I think. I think I just enjoy the second one a little bit more. Is it still good? No, I still don't think this is a good movie. I think
there's more gruesome kills in the second.
Oh, it's more brutal.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more brutal.
I just don't like I understand. So let's talk about the horse in the room.
I guess. Yeah, well, that's all stems from her giving him that white statue we see in the beginning.
Which they shoehorned in. And I also don't like that they used a different kid. Like, I guess, I don't know why they didn't bring that the original actor back for
I guess because he probably aged in 2 years. I don't know.
I guess, I don't know, but I didn't like that. I preferred the kid from the part one way more. I thought he was way more creepy. You know, I understand that it's all a psychological thing. We're meant to, that's what Michael sees, nobody else sees it. Because even at the end where the child Michael is holding Laurie in that little hut with the helicopters hovering, and the sheriff goes, "Come on, Laurie, let's go." And she's like, he's holding me," and he's like, "What are you talking about? There's nobody there." And so I guess she sees them too because that's technically her mother, right? Mm-hmm. Sherry Moon's her mother, so I guess, I don't know.
Well, that was trying to draw the connection between Laurie and Michael. And, like, you know, and then she's their mother, both of their mothers. So she's able to see her mom, too. Laurie can see her mom, and so can Michael. And, like,
right.
You know, they are brother and sister. That's what's drawing Michael to him. Because I don't think Michael wants to kill her.
Because that was the only person in the house that he liked aside from his mother.
Yeah, because we
killed everybody and then kissed the baby and brought it outside.
Yeah,
and he would always say "Good morning, Boo," because I don't know why it was called Boo, but that was a little nickname they had, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess they were family. I guess and he still loves her. He's like, hey, you know, I hate everyone else, but I still love you. You know, I guess that's like kind of the point. And, you know, really that kind of wrapped it up. It was not the greatest of movies. And then a few years later, I believe actually 9 years later, we got 2018's Halloween where they rebooted it. And I don't think these got lost to the test of time because you really like them.
Oh, I love the Rob Zombie ones. I prefer the first one way more. My Letterboxd score, I gave part 1 4.5, and then I think I went 3 or 3.5 on the second one.
I went 2 and 2.5, and
That's
I felt
insane.
like I was being generous with the first one because I do like the third act on the first one, so that was really it. The rest of the movie was a sludge. 2, actually, I wasn't bored at least throughout. I mean, I was a little bit like flabbergasted, but I wasn't bored. But as far as physical media for these go, because these both have only Blu-ray releases and not 4K releases.
So I have them in the Scream Factory 10-disc Halloween set, and they are in box number 2.
Yep, and that's exactly how I watched them as well.
So these are Roadshow Entertainment, Dimension Film. So that's actually really funny. It has a Region B thing on it.
That is
but
weird.
It still plays.
Yeah.
That's strange. And then this is Halloween 2 unrated, Dimension, the Weinstein Company. Good old Harvey Weinstein. And, you know, this is the only releases I have. There is standalone releases of these. Obviously, that's what these discs were taken from, because Scream Factory did not touch these discs.
No.
These are just in the pack. They were licensed out to Scream Factory. But that's how we watched them. And I think they're decent Blu-rays. I would have really preferred them to be in that new 4K set we just got from Scream Factory that had 6, H2O, and Resurrection. That would have been great to complete the set.
Once Halloween Ends comes out, these 2 will be the only ones that aren't on 4K.
Right.
The other 11 will all be on 4K. It'll just be those 2 that aren't. And as far as these Blu-rays, I thought that the second disc was better than the first.
That also might be a style, you know, like how they filmed it. Because again, it's supposed to be dirty, gritty.
The original is very flat. Yeah,
that's just Rob Zombie's way of filming. But also, House of a Thousand Corpses, I thought was actually a really good looking Blu-ray.
Well, that's what I mean. But I watched them both, and I just thought that the color. No, I mean, I get it. That's what Rob Zombie's going for. He doesn't want it's like a lot of dark browns, beiges, greens. You know, even like when there's a shot of the pumpkin, and the pumpkin's orange, but it looks very flat. All the colors are just flat, monotone. There's just really nothing to them, so it doesn't pop off your screen very much. But then in Halloween 2, I guess you turn the brightness up because it is brighter than the first one, I thought at least.
Yeah, and then also Richard Brake in the beginning, and the other guy that was in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, yes, I know exactly, the sheriff. From Sons of Anarchy. He's the other ambulance driver.
Yeah, they both died, but that was brutal.
My God, their deaths are brutal.
Yeah, that always creeped me out. But I feel that was very dark in the beginning, and then I guess it brightens up from there. I think they're solid Blu-rays. There's nothing on the horizon for a 4K for these anytime, at least that we know about.
Yeah, they're pretty old Blu-rays at this point, and that's all we really got. So
they're
it's
not terrible. It's definitely the best way to watch them. And they had 5.1,
which was pretty decent.
They were good 5.1 tracks.
Yeah.
I would have loved the brand new 4K scan and the Dolby Atmos track.
Yeah,
that would have been.
Because you could tell, I had to turn up my woofer at least on the second one because it's just it was very low. I thought at least like for what a horror movie is, what you expect. Like the woofer really does a lot of work in a lot of horror movies, and it felt like pretty low, honestly.
I thought my Sonos was pumping.
Oh well, my Samsung was not. So. I mean, but usually that woofer puts in some work, so that was the only thing. I just turned it up and that fixed the problem. But you know, the stock settings on it felt a little low. But that's my only complaints on it overall. I mean, I have a lot of complaints about the film. I can go on, but I don't want to. I know a lot of people like them. I know Matt likes them, so I don't want to, ruin everyone's experience with my Debbie Downerness of the Halloween movies from Rob Zombie. But man, Rob Zombie's movies, they get under your skin. Just
sure do, yeah.
I definitely feel like I have to take a shower after I watch them, and Jesus Christ, these movies.
Yeah, again, so I'm a huge fan of them. John, for some reason, isn't. But you don't really like any of the Rob Zombie stuff.
No, I mean, we actually, little peek behind the curtain, we filmed a Rob Zombie video. We just never put it out because I don't know, at that point now, enough time has passed, and we felt like, we probably have changed a little bit. And other than the movie 31, and actually 3 from Hell, I really don't like Rob Zombie's movies.
That's crazy that you like 3 from Hell the most out of the Firefly trilogy.
Yeah, that's by far my favorite.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I'm telling you, his tone, his style, it just doesn't work for me personally. It does. I'm not taking anything away from it.
But you don't like Texas Chainsaw really either, right?
No, I don't. I guess all that kind of style. I guess that dirty, gritty,
that late 70s dark Texas heat. Backwoods country horror you don't really like, and I mean I'm in for it.
Maybe I have a psychological thing where I know that if I got trapped in the Texas heat, within 3-4 hours I'm dead. So maybe I'm just afraid. I'm never going there. So that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, no, and I get that, and a lot of people do. So if you like it, that's no problem with me. Matt, I'm sure, fully supports it. So. But anyway, that's going to do it here for us. We have one more Halloween video to go, Halloween 3, which will actually be our Halloween Day video. We'll be talking about that then. And as always, nothing helps out more than by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and then telling all your friends.